would you mind if I told the story about you, Tony, and Tim, and your little cross-country adventure that you took last week? Okay, here we go. So John was driving cross-country with Tim and Tony, and yeah, you were. They were driving in the car, and then all of a sudden, they were kind of on this back road, and the car had a little bit of trouble. And so they called... but they wouldn't be able to get a tow truck till the morning. So they saw a farmhouse, and they walk up to the farmhouse, and they knock on the door. And the farmer comes out, and they said, hey, look, our car broke down. We're getting a tow truck in the morning. Do you mind if we stay here overnight? And the farmer says, oh, well, I would love to, but I only got 2 extra beds. One of you is going to have to sleep in the barn. So Tony, ever the egalitarian, says, I'll sleep in the barn. You two go in the house. Please. So they go into the house. Tony goes out into the barn. They all go to sleep. 10 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. And it's Tony. Tony says, and they're like, what's the matter? Tony goes, oh, there's a dog in the barn. I'm allergic to dogs. I can't sleep in the barn. And so Tim says, oh, well, you know what? I'll go sleep in the barn. Don't worry. I'll sleep in the barn. So they all go back to bed. Tim goes to sleep in the barn. About 10 minutes later, a little knock on the door. And then the farmer opens it, and it's Tim. And he goes, oh, you know what? You got a cat in the barn. I'm allergic to cats. I can't sleep with the cats. And John goes, friends, I love dogs. I love cats. I will go sleep in the barn. I am welcoming to all animals. So John goes out, sleeps in the barn. About 10 minutes later, there's a knock on the door. It's the dog and the cat. And that's the story.